Last case I would like to share is how design can provide more comprehensive answers against natural disasters. You may know that Chile in 2010 was hit by an 8.8 Richter scale earthquake and tsunami. And we were called to work in the reconstruction of the Constitution in the southern part of the country. We were given 100 days, 3 months, to design almost everything, from public buildings to public space, street grid, the transportation, housing, and mainly how to protect the city against future tsunamis. This was new in Chilean urban design, and there were in the air a couple of alternatives. First one, forbid installation on ground zero, $30 million spent mainly in land expropriation. This is exactly what's being discussed in Japan nowadays, and if you have a disciplined population like the Japanese, this may work. But we know that in Chile, this land is going to be occupied illegally anyhow, so this alternative was unrealistic and undesirable. Second alternative, build big wall, heavy infrastructure to resist the energy of the waves. This alternative was conveniently lobbied by big building companies because it meant $42 million in contracts, and was also politically preferred because it required no land expropriation. But Japan proved that trying to resist the force of nature is useless. So this alternative was irresponsible. As in the housing process, we had to include the community in the way of finding a solution for this, and we started a participatory design process.
Específicamente yo como pescador tengo 25 pescadores. ¿Dónde lo voy a llevarlo yo? ¿Al bosque?
Entonces, ¿por qué nosotros no podemos tener una defensa de hormigón? Por supuesto, bien hecho.
Soy historia de Constitución y vivieron mis actores. Y este señor me viene a decir que yo no puedo seguir viviendo ahí. No te digo. Ha vivido toda mi familia, toda una vida ahí. Crié a mis hijos y mis hijos criarán a sus hijos, y mis hijos y mis nietos y todo. Pero ¿por qué me viene a imponer usted? Él me está imponiendo. Mi zona de riesgo yo no puedo autorizar a construir. No nieve. Él mismo lo está diciendo. No nieve.
I don't know if you were able to read the subtitles, but you can tell from the body language that participatory design is not a hippie, romantic, let's all dream together about the future of the city kind of thing. It is actually not even with the families trying to find the right answer. It is mainly trying to identify with precision what is the right question. There's nothing worse than answering well the wrong question. So it was pretty obvious after this process that, well, we chicken out here and go away because it's too tense, or we go even farther in asking what else is bothering you, what other problems do you have, and you want us to take care now that the city will have to be thought from scratch. And what they said was, look, fine to protect the city against future tsunamis, we really appreciate, but the next one is going to come in, what, 20 years? But every single year we have problems of flooding due to rain. In addition, we're in the middle of the forest region of the country, and our public space sucks. It's poor and it's scarce. And the origin of the city, our identity, is not really connected to the buildings that fell. It is connected to the river. But the river cannot be accessed publicly because its shores are privately owned. So we thought that we had to produce a third alternative. And our approach was against geographical threats, have geographical answers. What if, in between the city and the sea, we have a forest? A forest that doesn't try to resist the energy of nature, but dissipates it by introducing friction. A forest that may be able to laminate the water and prevent the flooding, that may pay the debt, the historical debt of public space. And they may provide finally, democratic access to the river. So as a conclusion of the participatory design, the alternative was validated politically and socially, but there was still the problem of the cost. $48 million. So what we did was a survey in the public investment system and found out that there were 3 ministries with 3 projects in the exact same place, not knowing of the existence of the other projects. The sum of them, $52 million. So design's power of synthesis is trying to make a more efficient use of the scarcest resource in cities, which is not money, but coordination. By doing so, we were able to save $4 million, and that is why the forest is today under construction. So, be it the force of self-construction, the force of common sense, or the force of nature, all these forces need to be translated into form. And what that form is modeling and shaping is not cement, bricks, or wood. It is life itself. Design's power of synthesis is just an attempt to put at the innermost core of architecture the force of life. Thank you so much.